Hello and welcome to an open discussion. Technically, this isn't a podcast. I just feel like doing it, and I feel like doing it with people I talk to and associate with. More specifically, today I have with me the one, the only rookie, one Corey Troy VA, who really has a hard to read name.
Sorry about that.
And of course, your friendly neighborhood referee and sometimes just dubious person, Zach Pearson. I'm not expecting any last minute jump-ins like normally today, which means that, hey, we might blow through this faster. However, there should be one person en route. But for the record, I'm just going to go on and talk about what we're going to talk about and let you, for lack of a better term, talk at me. And then I'll interject if I have a question about your statement or something like that. Like I said, this isn't your traditional debate. So with that being said, we'll be discussing the how and why of why James Gunn is being fired, or at this point in time was fired, and was it fair, as well as possibly speculating on Chris Hardwick issues. Not to mention, on top of that, we'll be discussing the revelation that the CEO of Disney pretty much wants to remove Kathleen Kennedy. Of course, I put asterisks on that because, we don't have access to the same information that stockholders do. But let's be honest. If you saw the train wreck she was causing, historical train wreck, no, not even a joke, literal historical train wreck, you'd kind of want to kick her ass out too. Also, why they might be buying back their own licensing. Now, just out of curiosity, Corey, since there's no set order, is there any one of these in particular you want to tackle first?
We can tackle the Kathleen Kennedy stuff. I really don't know too much about that, except for the train wreck she's been causing.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, then.
Okay, go ahead. If you want, I can, drag and drop some Google stuff, but, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I can see why they want to get rid of her. The stockholders personally. I don't know about the main company itself, Disney, like Bob Iger and all that, but I can totally see all the stockholders getting pretty pissy and upset that Kathleen Kennedy is making all these really bad decisions. So, personally, I'm not object to some of the solo movie ideas that she's been throwing out, I suppose, but I'd probably want, if I was a stockholder myself, I'd probably want to throw her out because she's not making great calls.
Okay, well, short and sweet, I guess. Just remember, this shit's rated R, and technically no one knows what you look like, so if you're worried about some quote-unquote industry backlash, you're pretty much safeguarded in the traditional sense. See, we're pretty much independent, like TYT levels of independent, so we can make jokes, or, for lack of a better term, we can just genuinely criticize some industry person without any ramifications. Also, we use video game footage, as you didn't already know, in the YouTube, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. And I don't personally care if people know what I look like. I've already made my peace. I've told people numerous times, if it's not the tobacco industry or the adult industry, as in XXX type stuff, I'll probably associate with it. However, those are my main limits. Now, that being said, what else you want to take a nab at?
Sorry, my phone's being weird. Oh yeah, how do you feel with the Chris Hardwick thing?
I'm kind of conflicted. I am legit conflicted. Because, for one thing, I don't hate Chloe Dykstra, however the fuck you supposed to say it, but I'm not stupid. I know a coward when I see one. And in the case of Chris Hardwick, for lack of a better term, I think he may be like a 2 or a PG-13 on the Me Too scale of things. But at the same time, I know that sounds vague, so let me give a little bit of clarification what I mean by those statements. Chloe keeps trying to go on this bullshit fucking news report crap saying I want to be left alone now that I've come out about emotional abuse. That's not how shit works, and she knows it. I think she's a fucking coward in the literal sense, and that she is scared of conflict is what I mean by that. I'm not insulting her saying she's lying and crap like that. I think she didn't want it to go to the level it did because she was hiding or protecting him for some strange dumbass reason. Or she just didn't want people to even know she wasn't some quote unquote strong independent woman and blah 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 and had actually been emotionally abused in the first place. And to be honest, I'm just depressed about it. I'm never the person that blames the victim. What I do is I point out when someone's being an idiot. You know, I've never walked down the street and seen any woman in this entire fucking world who wore something that supposedly, quote unquote, is guaranteed to initiate rape. I think if you think like that, you should be locked up because you're a fucking sociopath. Now, an idiot, on the other hand, I've seen plenty of idiots. I can tell an idiot the most common sense shit ever, and an idiot can completely ignore me and be feckless and irresponsible about it, and I'm not going to feel sorry for him. But then I get in situations like this, I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to be in this situation. And let me just clarify real quick. The short end of what happened, and I got a link up here if you want to take a look at it, I recommend it. Chloe had a lot of psychological issues and emotional and sexual abuse that was brought on by the relationship of her and Chris Hardwick. Whether or not he broke up with her, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing. She forgot how the internet works, which is stupid because she grew up with it most of her life. So she told someone or some group of people that she trusts that wasn't like social media corporations or news journalism, we had some issues in the past. He did such and such to me. Mind you, we don't know what triggered the shit. Abuse is abuse. If she was abusing him, he should have got out immediately. And if he was abusing her, she should have got out immediately. Basically, I call it the Chris Brown Rihanna effect. One abused the other, but it's a matter of which one got caught or caught the public's attention first. Also, there's a stereotype of it's never the woman's fault in some situations like this. So the way I look at it, they both wrong. The problem is Chloe's not owning up to what she did. And there's nothing she can do about it at this point because, like I stated earlier, in my opinion, she's a coward. I don't mean a coward for trying to poke the bear and then run and hide. I mean a coward as in she can't say the most basic shit. She doesn't want to explain the full story. And she's only explained to a handful of people that aren't investigators what's going on. Here's the problem with something stupid like that. That doesn't fix the problem. But then she's going on websites. I think one of them was CBR talking about she wants the death threats and shit to stop. First off, let me just say, Chris Hardwick fans, if you actually made a death threats to her over this shit, I have underestimated the Chris Hardwick fan base. I would be more inclined to believe he made a fake account to harass her than I would the Chris Hardwick fan base did this shit. I apologize for underestimating you guys, hypothetically, if that did in fact happen. But the biggest problem is that, unfortunately, in a lot of these situations, women get away with shit like this, whether they're wrong or right, just because of traditional stereotypes. I'm going to give you guys examples of a friend of mine this happened to. And again, I'll try to be as short as possible because I know I'm taking up a lot of time, but there's I want to say ex-famous, more infamous photographer friend of mine he's got a lot of issues, but rapey shit is not one of them, by the name of Ronald Ladow. His most common handle is Soul Crash 08. or just soul crash online. He's a car enthusiast, more specifically, I believe, Toyota or Nissan. But he was a photography hobbyist, and he did a lot of photography shit for free for people who role play in their costumes, and LARPers and shit like that at conventions all the time. He wouldn't charge a fee, or if he did, it wouldn't be that much. And he was known for just being able to go to a lot of places. And well, some women have had their issues with him in the past, but none of them was of a sexual harassment nature, save for maybe one or two people. But even then, it wasn't because he liked them. It was because a simple case of a joke taken too far. But it never ended in something like they not being comfortable around him, charges being pressed, all that other type of shit. But what happens is an idiot who I wish I knew the name of, because I'd fucking call her that to her face, her shameless fucking face, who likes to quote unquote cosplay, found out that he was going to be an official photographer, or he was getting a press pass for a convention or some event 3 or 4 years after she got mad at him, and made this long essay about why she was mad at him. She implied he basically tried to follow her into her room where she was undressing. That's the short end of it. Now the problem is, Ron couldn't find the video to claim bullshit fast enough, because Ron is obsessive about recording shit. Not because of, possible issues like this, but because he's one of those guys who's like a habitual recorder. With or without, cosplay being involved. So, one time in particular, he had to dig this up because the internet just turned on him. Nobody asked questions, and they pretty much did exactly what they did to Hardwick on him. He got banned from shit. Investigations got launched only after they found out, this chick is basically BSing. There were other people involved, not incident, blah, 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 blah. And what ended up being shown on the footage verbatim was Ron, after they said they were going to go change into regular clothes after cosplay in the hotel hallway, stuck his card in between there, lightly opened the door, didn't take no pictures, nothing, and wasn't even holding the camera so you can see him completely in frame, and just tried to mess with them, not by running in the room, but just by saying something by the door. I'm not sure what it was. It's been a while since I've looked at this footage, and it was like, cut it out, Ron, it's not funny. And then he closed the door and left. He didn't see nobody naked, nothing. Also, this same woman has done photo shoots with him since then for years, where she saw him and took pictures and had him take pictures of her. So after this all happened, she didn't backtrack. She just tried to say, I don't want to discuss this matter any further. But the damage was done by this point. And it got to a point where he pretty much said he may consider completely stopping. Now, this was about 3 or 4 years ago. But the main reason I can comment on it because, I ain't been in no issue like that. But I've been in similar issues that didn't involve, any type of emotional or psychological abuse, where I'm accused of something or I'm guilty by association when I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I'm not going to go into all of my personal crap, but I'll just start with the most recent one. And even then, this was like a damn near 2 years ago at this point. There's a dude who goes to conventions by the name of Nicholas Devonish. Nicholas Devonish has a girlfriend whose last name I couldn't remember for the longest time, named Gina Kalura. I spoke to this girl maybe 4 or 5 times, but as Nicholas is heavily implied, and I've noticed from shit that she said, she may have some level of undiagnosed schizophrenic paranoia or just excessive paranoia. I won't bore you with the long version, but basically schizophrenic paranoia is something you want to treat like their fear or worry can get so strong that it loses touch with reality. Google schizophrenic paranoia if you really want to give that much of a shit about it. Now, she's done some crazy things in the past, like literally moving herself into his parents' house after he decided he wanted to save money going to college by not living in the apartment that they both had. First off, that's the ultimate sign of crazy right there. You should have got the fuck out then and there. But that aside, she decided that I somehow did not want them two to be together, and I was actively involved in it in some way, shape, or form because I didn't hate 2 people in particular that she decided was a threat to her relationship that were not. I don't know their last names, or better yet, I can't pronounce it. These two twins that Nick occasionally hangs out with, named Erica and Ashley Sugart or Scugart, some shit like that. I'll see these two girls maybe 3 times a year, and of those 3 times, I usually only speak once a year. Not because I hate them, not because I have anything against them, but because it's a convention. Any convention I've been to in like the past, I want to say 15 years, I know at least a couple dozen people. But more specifically, Erica and Ashley are always at conventions where I know hundreds of people. Yes, I'm not joking, hundreds. I'm not famous, popular. I've just been around a long ass time. So what I did was I told her immediately when she started trying to tell me shit like asking me, hey, is he cheating on me with them? Like, first off, I don't talk to them that much. I didn't even remember who the fuck they were until she purposely showed me in a link who they were. And basically said, oh, if he cheats on me, she's automatically going to assume it's these two or 2 other people. And she's going to get his own friends to jump these people for him. Which, again, crazy red flag is waving in the air like a motherfucker. And I informed her, no, I'm not going to be involved in no shit like that. That's legitimately illegal. And then I informed him about it, and he just brushed it off like it was no big deal. You think this would be my inkling? I need to get the fuck away from this situation, which I kind of sort of did. I told her I'm not going to do that. So I found out because of my statements, she decided that I'm not allowed to go to the water park convention in a carpool. But of course, Nick being a coward also did not tell me this until 6 days before the convention. She had told him she didn't want me in the carpool almost several months beforehand. So I lost out on $500 because I had to basically chastise this supposed wannabe grown-ass man into telling me what the fuck is really going on. Because his initial lie to me was that, oh, someone's in the van who secretly hates you. It's like, and that person didn't actually exist. It was just Gina, who I only had 4 conversations with, and is obsessively has some type of Napoleon complex or just mentally disturbed individual. And I want nothing to do with her. I made a public PSA about it because I know Nick well enough to know he will fucking lie if he thinks it'll save his public persona. But I got in front of it. And that's why I'm pissed about both of them, because neither one of them got in front of it. Chris is not saying anything. She is trying to not say anything after someone else snitched. First off, she should have told on the people that snitched, and she should have did clarifications. It's too late at that point. At that point, all you could do is damage controls. But no, she's just trying to get the press to tell her, hey, tell people to leave me alone. In fact, I think she even got on CNN. That's a luxury I didn't have. But you know what I do have? I have the public status update on Facebook, and I had Facebook. And I handle my business. And you know what? I stopped getting harassment of any type within 48 hours after that. And I completely stopped listening to anything Nick has to say. Supposedly he made some statement on my wall that didn't mean jack shit. And here's the weird part. He didn't even take me off Facebook. I had to do that my damn self. So yeah, that's pretty much how it fucking ended. And even then there was windfall. I had a friend of mine or a friend of a friend trying to get a room. I think his name was Sonny Sama. And I told him like, hey, you know, this guy's pretty cool. You guys can go help him get a room because they needed an extra person. And they said, wait, he hangs out or chills with Nick. I was like, yeah, but he's cool. It's not a big deal. And they instantly said no. I'm pretty sure he still got a room because one thing, they didn't change their mind at the last minute. But yeah, that's what happened to me. But here's the thing. I got in front of it. Even if I was scared of conflict, I would have got in front of it. Nick know where the fuck I live. He know where I used to live. He know where I be. He know where I say. He got my number, all this shit. He didn't do none of it. Then to top it off, just to make sure my name wasn't in the shit, I sent out a text message back when I basically pseudo cockblocked him from trying to go through my friends list to shop for a pre-girlfriend. For those of you out there who don't know what a pre-girlfriend is, it's when you literally go and farm for somebody else, and then after they agree to be your fucking boyfriend or girlfriend, you immediately go dump the other person. So you fuck them, you kiss them, go on dates, all that shit. Basically scummy tactics. And I basically had to put up a fucking screenshot of me showing people, no, I didn't condone any of this type of behavior. I'm not involved in any of this shit. I'm out. But yeah, you know, that doesn't occur to me that often. Thank God.
Damn. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what to add.
I mean, that's just me. I feel like both of them are doing this the wrong way. Chris knows they had a toxic relationship, but the problem is Chloe is not solely to blame. He is not solely to blame. And no matter what happens, he would have looked bad. Chloe, on the other hand, both is and is not responsible. I don't know if she seek therapy or help, but she left his name out of it. Her friends figured out it was him. And she should have at least put them on blast. But that's the problem. I think she's scared of any type of conflict. That's why she'll talk to CNN and journalism, but she won't try to hash out anything with Chris. Or even if she was trying to hash out something with Chris, it got destroyed because of this bullshit. This man has lost the Walking Dead Talking Dead after post show on The Walking Dead, which got canceled. Fear of the Walking Dead post show got canceled. All of his administrative and moderation duties from Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, got removed. So it's like she's almost completely unfazed. She keeps saying she doesn't like what people are saying about her online, but she can go and close accounts. She can set her shit to private. There's all types of shit she can do. But she's not. So, I mean, this is one of those unique issues that can only happen in the modern era. I get she doesn't have a game plan for this. But the problem is, the only thing she's trying to do is tell people, hey, leave me alone. Nah, motherfucker. You lit the match and you threw it, but your friends fucking caught it with gasoline. You ain't gonna put this out till you start name dropping. Ironically, the one thing she was trying to avoid how to do.
Yeah. By the way, he still has the show. He's back to being the host after, I think it's like the next season of Walking Dead or something. He's gonna go back to being the host.
That won't mean anything because The Walking Dead has one season left.
Sure.
Anyways. Alright, just to get you caught up, because we have a late entry, we have Marshall May of 316 Origin. This is basically a roundtable discussion on crazy shit going on in the internet and pop culture, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, the topics are right there, but since you're late, I wanted to ask you about one of the topics. Give me a second. Making a mic adjustment. Okay. Alright, Mr. Mayfield. CEO of Disney, allegedly, has snitches that are investors, or at least know the investors. Basically, what they're saying is they want someone to take Kathleen Kennedy's job. However, the other pillars of the Disney worlds, or Disney franchises, that being the head of, the animation studio, the head of Marvel Studios, and somebody else I'm forgetting, I think it's her, they can't find a good replacement. Or rather, they have people who think that they can't fix her mess. So that's the only reason she's still in office. Now, the main reason it's that this is being brought up or people are talking about is because I don't know what you know about the Han Solo movie, but its suckiness, or at least suckiness as far as sales, made Star Wars history. Solo is the first Star Wars history movie to not make profit. Yes, even episodes 1 through 3, which nerds and fanboys alike I've always heard say suck ass, except for the third one maybe, and even then that's a big if, has not made profit. So let me ask you, if you saw that you were the CEO of Disney and you saw that this chick does nothing but cause trouble whenever she fucks with Star Wars, would you get rid of her, or would you try to force her in and obeying strict rules, or who would you replace her with?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wow. Kathleen Kennedy was the name, right?
Yeah, this is the same chick that also removed slave Leia toys for literally no reason than to feed her own ego.
Well, if she already has a history of screwing up the whole Star Wars franchise, why even keep her?
Basically, the problem is replacing her because she's fucked up so bad people are scared to go in after that. Like, she's even ruined people's careers just by telling them to do things that shouldn't be done, like killing Luke. The original, I believe, first two directors of episode not 8, 9 didn't want to kill Luke, told her it was a bad idea. But she has some secret doctrine where she wanted to kill off every single old character. You know, the ones that are the most popular. She wanted to kill Luke. She wanted to kill Solo.
And all that.
She wanted to kill Luke. She wanted to kill Solo. She wanted to kill fucking Leia. But also there was talks that she may not have wanted to kill Leia, which again falls under being stupid. Because now it looks like she's doing the one thing that Star Wars never did, which was play favorites. Yeah, there was way more male characters than female, but the thing is that technically that was fixed in post media, comic books that were canon, graphic novels that were canon, regular novels that were canon. The thing is though, she doesn't look into any of that. She doesn't read any of that. All she knows is the fucking movies.
She gotta go. If I was the CEO of Disney, and I'm seeing this chick, and basically what she has done is almost ruined the whole Star Wars franchise. She got to go, and I couldn't even think of a replacement at that point in time. But I'm just thinking, like, couldn't George Lucas be involved in this? I mean, he did create or had some kind of idea of Star Wars, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 50 episodes of a live action show that he couldn't do with modern technology at the time. But, you know, by the time technology rolled around, that's when the franchise sale went through. But the stupid part is that he's the one who purposely nominated Kathleen Kennedy. But at the same time, I don't think he could have seen this shit coming.
He couldn't have. He basically, it seems like he basically trusted Kathleen Kennedy with this, Star Wars project to go even further than it was going. But Kathleen Kennedy just basically proved that she dropped the ball, and she has absolutely no idea what the fuck that she's doing. She thinks she knows what she's doing, but what she's doing is not even working for the sake of Disney. If anything,
it's to feed her own ego.
Well, if anything, she's making herself look bad. She's making almost Disney look bad, which is kind of hard to do, but
not really. Yeah. It's just hard to make it widespread. She's succeeding. Okay, I know. Just for a little bit of speculation or clarity on this, I'm gonna read off an article from I hope I'm saying his last name right, Tony Smajek. Now, I don't see a source, so we're gonna follow this under grain of salt shit. But I'm gonna go read the thing real quick. Marvel Studios, Pixar, Star Wars bigwigs meet in secret, likely run by Bob Iger. Word has it that he wants Kathleen Kennedy out, but no one wants to replace her. Ain't it the truth? The Star Wars franchise has not been doing so well. The box office numbers coming from the Han Solo movie were pretty abysmal. That said, a couple of weeks ago, a newsletter had a pretty standout paragraph in it that could be a hint of things to come for Kathleen Kennedy in September. According to the anchor giving Hollywood the business, the rumor mill was at full speed regarding her future. According to the dork side of the force, yes, that's an actual, source. They were able to gauge the reliability of Ankler based on the things they've already predicted. Again, why I say take it with a grain of salt. However, last week, Wired, the magazine, stated this was completely untrue and is only wishful thinking among Star Wars fans and gossip enthusiasts. But, as of today, YouTuber Grace Randolph said she got some pretty freaking amazing inside information. Now, if you don't know, Grace Randolph is known for working with, I believe, Ain't It Cool News, one of the oldest pop culture places on the internet, Bleeding Cool YouTube channel, and The Stack or The Rack, which is mostly about comic books. But, she's been able to get her occasional press pass and industry pass and shit like that. But let me just go through it real quick. She said, from an unnamed source regarding the word on the street that Bob Iger wants Kathleen Kennedy to step down, this scope originated from Pinewood Studios. Pinewood Studios, on the side note, is actually well connected. But, I'm going to continue reading. What's even more interesting, several were approached to take her position. These several people are unnamed. However, I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams is among them. That's just one of my speculations. Randolph mentioned specifically that, there it is, J.J. Abrams was a definite no. Grace said that a risk-averse Hollywood would not want to run a house divided. This division referred to runs between those loyal to Kennedy and those loyal to the Star Wars brand. Just a bit of a side note. When Kathleen Kennedy got in, for no reason at all, she started altering staff to people she had a working history with for no reason. Basically little loyal minions. However, none of these minions were in a position of true power. They're more on the production side of things, but they're easily replaceable. It's pretty common knowledge these days that Star Wars fandom has been quite toxic. No, that's like saying the sky is blue. Kelly Marie Tran left social media and soon figured it was due to the bullying she's received online. Now, just a little update about this, because this is true, but it's also kind of sad. Kelly Marie Tran played the Asian girl from Star Wars Episode 9, the one whose sister died near the beginning of the movie. A lot of people have a problem with her character and how it came out in the movie, but a lot of people have a lot of problems with a lot of the characters. However, unfortunately, as these things go in Hollywood, fans don't attack producers and writers and directors that had these ideas. They attack the person who portrayed the characters. Now see, the way I look at it, as I've always said, two dumbs don't make us smart. If you know you're playing a character who's in a terrible situation and it's going to be awkward and looks really shitty and could throw some shade on your entire career, don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. We've seen it with the female version of the Ghostbusters, that one black chick whose name escapes me. And now we're seeing it with this. And more recently, we saw it with the chick who's playing Star Wars in the Titans live action show, which is going to be extremely horrible. This is how I know it. That trailer's like 45 seconds. Robin kills like 6 people with the machine gun. Also, Starfire, again, a character that doesn't really need to be played by any particular ethnicity. The skin tone is orange. Her eyes are red. And her hair is long. Yeah, they fucked her up horrendously. Initially, when screenshots leaked, the problem was it looked like Hollywood checkbox marketing. Now, if you're not sure what that is, checkbox marketing is when they try to throw in a sprinkle of minority or something akin to what Kathleen Kennedy tries to do, just because they feel like no one's going to watch their show, according to really, really, really old, outdated, and basically damn near pointless demographic statistical data that some of these Fortune 500 entertainment companies have. Basically, about 15, 20 years ago, shit implied that, oh, minorities aren't going to see a movie unless another minority's in it. Bull fucking shit. Bull fucking shit. But that aside, it looks like they tried to do that with Starfire. But the problem is, she's not really orange. Starfire is an African American woman. Everything about her looks like an African American woman. Her hair looks extremely stupid. Yes, Starfire's hair does glow, but the luminescence is usually routed to the bottom of her hair. And they gave her curls that make absolutely no sense for someone who's supposed to be an alien, who basically spends most of her life, on Earth at least, not doing anything outside of managing stuff in relation to superheroes. Yet she looks like some form of I don't want to say prostitute, but she looks like, for lack of a better term, a really, really fancy hooker. She's wearing what looks like a $15,000 fur coat. She has really, really springy, hot pink hair, which, again, Starfire's hair isn't hot pink. And then it glows near the sensor, and they couldn't even get the green of her eyes correct. Also, she doesn't have a fucking accent of any kind. I get that the accent is always 50-50, but she didn't look like Starfire. My guess is they saw Deadpool and they tried to copy Deadpool with Domino bullshit. Now, that being said, I'm going to show you guys how horrible they might Starfire look. By the way, you've all watched Teen Titans and shit before, right?
Yes.
Corey?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you. Get your buckets ready. You have all been warned. Go ahead and click it.
I'm a little scared, so I'm looking at that thumbnail.
Y'all gonna say something?
Sweet dear Lord, what the fuck have they done?
I remember the set leak pictures, but like...
Oh, hell no. 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 Mm-mm.
Funny you should mention that picture.
No. No. Mm-mm. Nope.
It's like it changed its whole vocabulary.
Dude, it looks so much worse in the daytime.
She looks like she just got back from a rich person's prom or something. Everything is wrong. But here's what I mean though. She got harassed so much she got off the internet. Like I'm not saying that you're an actor, you need to be made of tougher stuff because anybody can criticize you. I'm just saying that who's wrong in this situation? Two dumbs don't make a smart, or I guess in this case it was three. It was three dumbs don't make a smart. I bet you she's never touched a fucking Teen Titans or any comic book, let alone even watch a TV show. This is what I mean about they don't want to do their homework. They just want to show up and pray they get something. But at the same time, racist fans shouldn't be fucking with her. But let's not say it's all only racist fans. Don't bullshit and belittle the issue. And then also the studio's wrong. And yet Beast Boy's damn near perfect. By the way, Beast Boy's the only one in that show that looks like a fucking teenager.
I agree, but even his I don't think he looks like he doesn't look good. I think
You're thinking too much about Teen Titans TV show, but Beast Boy, once he comes away from Doom Patrol, he switches to that really really light blue red mixture. So that's why I say I give him some slack.
Yeah, no, I remember he had is it white and red in the show? I didn't really get a good look at the.
Yeah, it's kind of like a white red. Sometimes it's a really whitish blue. But what really pisses a lot of people off is the fact that Starfire is just like the tip of the iceberg. Robin kills like 3 people with a fucking machine gun in the goddamn trailer.
And that little infamous line of "fuck Batman" doesn't help either.
That one doesn't bother me.
It doesn't?
Here's why though. It could be foreshadowing that this is the Robin that becomes Red Hood. Because as we know anything about Red Hood Robin, he hates Batman for a long time. A long time. But at the same time, you think these guys are going to get to a season 2?
No. Wait, isn't it confirmed that it's Dick Grayson?
I don't know, but my whole point is just that fuck them. Fuck that whole show. I'm mad about the racists, but I'm also mad that studio thought this was a good idea, and I'm mad at her for fucking not using her goddamn brain and not understanding, being a token doesn't push anything forward, it holds us back. Just because someone's nice to you about making you a token doesn't mean you should just accept it. But at the same time, she might have just not been thinking, but that doesn't excuse shit. You are a fucking public figure when you become a celebrity. And if she didn't want to be a celebrity, she can take her ass to Broadway. I'm not saying she's greedy or selfish or just wants money. Yeah, that element will never leave Hollywood. I'm saying my problem with her is she didn't fucking think. I'm a Creole, but I ain't stupid. I live in Chicago. I know the minute I go outside, the only thing cops, judges, who else am I missing? Cops, judges, anybody involved with law enforcement, all they see is a nigga. That's all they're going to see. And the only way they're going to see anything different is if either I play their game, become a docile motherfucker, or I'm wearing a bandana. You know, that thing I could use to stop heat and sweat from getting into my fucking face because, sweat in your eyeballs sucks and it burns because it's salty. I know the world I live in. Why is she playing stupid? But of course, rhetorical or metaphorical questions aren't something you guys can readily answer. It's just, I feel sorry for her, but at the same time, I don't. I'm conflicted. I guess that's the word for me. Anyways, Corey, what are your feelings on this situation, being that you're a voice actor?
Personally, for the stuff that I've done, I didn't research it because I knew I was just doing bit work. But I mean, if I knew the project, they told me oh, you're gonna be in Teen Titans, I'm okay, I'll do my research. That's it's a big property. I'm gonna do my research on it. But if she didn't do the research, this is what happened.
Mr. Mayfield?
As much as I'm not a big, huge fan, I am aware that this is just utterly disappointing. And the chick does the chick needs to do something else. No. And she's already getting enough backlash as it is, but common sense should have, came to her brain and said, you know what, I can't really do this because, well, I know it's going to affect my acting career, but at the same time, it's just more you can't really.
She's not excused.
You can't really do this and then think that you're going to get a positive reaction to it. As a DC fan, well, I'm not much of a DC fan, but DC fans all over the world ain't gonna be. They ain't gonna like this. If they haven't even, made their presence felt on social media, they will by not watching this show.
Wait, I just noticed something. Yo, her hair is hot pink, but it glows orange. Oh my god.
Yeah, that doesn't help. In fact, that's no. No.
I just like how he'll begin the sentence with no and he'll end the paragraph with no. Oh man, this is a serious issue, but that's really funny. Like tokenism can't work. Not if we just train people to not be racist or to at least be racially sensitive. Just not overly sensitive. It doesn't work if all parties don't do it. That's why I say two dumbs don't make us smart. But I digress. We put it off long enough. James Gunn. I'll say this. James Gunn is one of the more interesting situations I've ever come across in, all of social media. And also, I have a unique perspective, which people constantly ask me about. I think to the point where I might actually make a Facebook post about it, because I'm getting asked all the fucking time. I usually have a set cap. If it gets asked over 40 times, I'm going to just make a post about it so people will shut the fuck up. But, long story short, James Gunn, before Guardians of the Galaxy 1 even happened, used to run in a movie studio production team that tried to do gore movies or horror movies, but they had a comedic aspect to them. And he occasionally would try to make, shock jokes or dark jokes. Those exist. It's basically when you take something that people are normally scared of or disturbed by, or is considered quote unquote taboo, and you try to make a comedic aspect about it. One of these or two of these jokes involved rape. James Gunn has never condoned rape. Let me just say that right now. But the jokes were made. Here's the problem though. As we've already seen with Marvel, there's a lot of bullshit that can happen behind the scenes. First and foremost, James Gunn spoke on this and about this right after he got set to direct Guardians of the Galaxy fucking 1. So this shit is not new. But what happened is some conservative think tanks who they basically hate most of Hollywood because Hollywood doesn't like them because, they lie, cheat, manipulate, and steal, and then they don't want to answer for any bullshit they cause. So naturally speaking, Hollywood don't want fuck all to do with you because you could ruin people's careers. You're like an STD. Ain't nobody trying to catch you on purpose. And went and dug up really old tweets. But the thing is, this already happened. This has already happened. And he didn't change his answer. He said something like, look, I get that I couldn't make the jokes. Well, again, I'm paraphrasing. I'm sorry. I get that I couldn't make the jokes funny. And I also understand that, people are going to feel a certain way about that. But I hope people can understand. I don't victim blame, and I don't think that anyone being raped is inherently satirical. Some shit like that. But the reason I got asked about it was because if anybody knows my background, I do comedic writing. As Corey and Drake can both tell you, I mostly do stand-up, and as a hobby, I try to do a project that I have planned for YouTube, but I want to do the entire first season first.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I got asked at random how I feel about this. First thing I tell people is like, look, James Gunn is not a comedian. He can write funny, but he is not a comedian, meaning he doesn't do stand-up comedy. That's really the only distinction. Because to my knowledge, comedian wasn't even a real word until stand-up comics just started getting called that. In fact, I think comic wasn't even the correct term. I think it was just a shorthand for comedic. Which sounds weird when you break it down. But anyways, I've been working on that joke for some time. Still haven't finished it. I'm going to put a pin in that one. But basically, the way you got to look at it is that he actually owned up to it. He didn't run away from it. He confronted the issue over 8 years ago. Oh no, over 6 years ago, I believe. Fuck, when was the first Guardians? I think it was 2014? 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, 4 years ago, shit.
For sure it was like 2013.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but we can Google Guardians of the Galaxy 1 release date. Somebody do that. Anyways, so basically, he got in front of it. There was no issue. The only reason there's an issue now is because, as we all know, it's a loosely kept secret that Paul Mutter, whatever the name is of the dude who used to run Marvel before he handed the publishing rights to Disney, is a notorious everything you can think of that's not positive about an old white man. The only thing that we haven't confirmed is that this motherfucker was a member of the Klan. He's racist, homophobic, transphobic, anything you can think of. And he's extremely petty. He's basically Donald Trump on 10. Every day he wakes up. He's had countless lawsuits, most of which, well, not countless, I don't know the exact number, but most of which he didn't have a chance of winning, or he's going to settle out of court. By the way, if you settle out of court, you're fucking guilty. Bill Cosby loving ass bitches always come up to me saying he's innocent when I make jokes about him on stage. If I got a drink in my hand, leave me the fuck alone and shut the fuck up. You want to prove to me he's innocent? Go tell the fucking judge. Shit. But yeah, let me get off that because I'll be on that bullshit that happened all day. Might talk about that at a later time. But when you make a joke normally, whether it's good or bad, people do it, don't laugh, you don't take it back. He's not a stand-up comedian, so he can take it back. But normally you don't take it back. Because it means you don't trust your own ability. At least for me, it means you don't trust your own ability and you're letting the community dictate to you what you should not be saying. Now, I don't know how many people have seen the last 2 Dave Chappelle specials that have recently been released on Netflix, but in one of them, and I'm paraphrasing, he basically makes a statement that comedians have to be rebellious. If we cannot use our First Amendment, then we cannot truly be good at our craft or perfect our craft because we're instantly gain a limit. That's also why you don't see a lot of the older comics trying to play at colleges or even trying to do new shows in general. There are some who completely put college out. They told me not to name them, not because I said I was going to talk about them today, but they told me in the past, don't tell nobody, but that type of thing. They pretty much told their agents to blacklist all colleges or at least non-community colleges from their set list or possible places to be booked for because they don't trust them. And it's weird when some of these places even have classes that discuss the First fucking Amendment. You know how ironic that is? That's so ironic. I know there's a joke in there. I just haven't found it yet. So believe me when I tell you that when you have a taboo subject matter, it's hard to make it funny, but it's doable. I can tell you right now, you can make a rape joke funny. But most of the times I've done it, which is rare, or other people have done it, you have to do it from the victim perspective. So what happens is, you don't say something like, man, of course she got raped. She had an ass like that. What do you expect to happen? See, that's what sociopaths and crazy fuckboys think. You usually, or at least what I do, you have to flip it if you want to make it anything close to something that's not going to probably universally get you harassed or fucked with online. So it'd be say, see, I know we all want gun laws or gun control laws. I forget how we said it all, but I'm paraphrasing. I'm doing a lot of that today. But, I'm just saying a good way to catch a rapist is if you pull out a gun and if he tries to rape you, you shoot the dick. Because when he goes to the hospital, first off, it's a felony for hospitals to not record any gunshot wounds in this country. But let's be honest. If you got shot in the dick and you don't own the gun, you were probably trying to rape somebody. And then he went on to a little like 10, 15 minute spiel about how he was pretending to be a Russian doctor who was telling him like, well, I'm just saying, I could use your dick as a flute. You must have got a little bit rapey. Might as well call the cops. You know, shit like that. And the crowd died. And the thing is that that's not the shit that you see on YouTube. That's not the shit that you see on Netflix normally. It's not that they censor it. That's the shit that you're only going to see when you're in a comedy club. There's a man, I can't remember his name, but before Russell Brand, and also after, he was considered one of the most fucked up people in comedy. He's perfectly nice. He's got one of those chiseled pretty boy faces, and he's completely and totally Caucasian. Looked like he could have came out the Aryan Brotherhood yesterday, and he's not racist. I can't remember his name, but he used to have a show on Comedy Central. He was called the Dark Prince of Comedy for like almost 10 years now. He made jokes like that all the time, including one joke about his mom basically implying that she would fuck him back in the day, which didn't even really happen, but he just did it. Shock humor is shocking. He did his job. He didn't get booed off the stage. He's had a very good career. He's been on 4 different Netflix shows. He had his own television show on Comedy Central, which is notorious for not even letting people go past 2 seasons, even if both seasons are successful. So, to be fair, I don't understand what the problem is, other than investors didn't realize this, or there's a new wave of Kathleen Kennedy type bitch ass investors, and I use that term loosely. Or either it's Kathleen Kennedy, she's got too much control in Disney now, as far as, you know, corporate power goes. So that may be why. Because this is not new information. Because first off, the shit he was making happened in like, I believe 2010, when like Twitter was a year old. So it's really old. Not to mention his natural behavior, even during that time up to now, has not been anything that will remotely make him look like a Trump. Also, this is funny. If you follow him like I do, damn near every 5th or 6th tweet he makes is an insult to Trump or directly tagging him to show that he's lying about something. But because the internet, because ADD, because confirmation bias, because he say, she say is always in she favor, even though there's no she in this situation, since women got offended, they all decided we gonna bum rush him without looking at the fucking facts. I wish him luck in his career. I'm glad the cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy sent it behind him, but I also think that they need to make sure they got their money in check and their contracts in order, because if they all choose to, or some of them choose to not return because of how they handled his termination, they're gonna be replaced. They are going to be replaced. But at the same time, I don't think they're mind. I mean, they're financially stable. James Gunn got enough credit and pimp status to go make another movie with anybody else if he fucking really wanted to. He can make a fucking Star Trek movie if he wanted to, if you really stop and think about it. I think he's actually decent friends with J.J. Abrams. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. Corey, feelings?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's in the past. Like, it's something he wrote like a really long time ago. I don't think that's something, like, I mean, people change also. Like, I don't think I would hold him accountable, I guess, today for writing something he wrote like 5 years ago and is like totally something he wouldn't agree that he did before. So, I don't know. Exactly. I don't have like my opinion all put together on the matter.
Okay, we can give you a little more time. Mr. Mayfield?
Yeah, I agree with Corey on this one. Clearly, it's from 5 years ago, and clearly, it just seems like when people get so offended about this that happened 5 years ago, they want to try to make their presence known, and then just it seems like they just want to do whatever the fuck they want and go ahead and just make people lose their jobs and their careers. But as far as James Gunn, I mean, it seems like he's very talented at what he does. I'm not even sure if he's that much of a businessman. All I know is that he's very, very talented with directing movies. So, if anything, I'm pretty sure that he's going to bounce back from this. It probably won't even take that long, but I mean, it's just really like shitty how this all turned out, and I really do hope that he becomes very successful in the near future, if not now. But yeah, it's just really a shitty situation. That happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, but even then, on top of that, add 4 because the tweet they pulled up was from 2009. So this has come back a third fucking time.
But yet people want to see that that's really that's stupid. That's all around stupid. You bring this up. Well, so was like 9 years ago. I'll say
Something like that.
but yet it's just all around stupid. Absolutely all around stupid. And well, that's really all I got.
Okay,
Yeah, pretty much.
Corey, you feel like you got a statement for us now?
Yeah, like I'm gonna add on to what I said. Like I don't think because that's something he said like 9 years ago. I don't think he really should be. Sorry, I'm using my phone. Like I keep on hitting the home button, and it's like right next to my talk button.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, for something he said like 9 years ago, I don't think he should be held accountable anymore. That's something like that was so long ago. Why does it matter now? Like, why bring it up? It's pointless. He's a different person now. Also, I mean, like I saw like Super, like his humor is so different. It's really well. It's more like what you were saying, like shock. And I mean, like you can tell how he changed over the course of like everything he's made from like Super to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's changed completely. And like I mean, I just don't think he should be held accountable for it.
Okay, that pretty much wraps up everything. You guys got any type of pop culture shit you want to bring up or talk about?
There is one, and it involves with a one LeBron James and the president of the United States, not my president, Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure y'all probably already know this by now on Twitter, but apparently Donald Trump wanted to call out LeBron James and basically call him stupid, or what the interview that he had was stupid. But last time that we all checked, LeBron James is the exact same basketball player as of right now that not only created a school in his hometown, but he made absolutely positively sure that the kids around there had a fair education. I can't remember another basketball player that does that, but if so, kudos to them. But also kudos to LeBron James as well. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, he really needs to step down as president a long time ago. And I don't even know how long that's going to take place, but he needs to just get the fuck away from Twitter, do his damn job, and get a fucking reality check. What he's doing now is just not helping America, not one bit. I'm really just sick and tired of just hearing so much about Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that. Yeah, he's the president, but as of late, he has made America worse each and every single day. And I'm kind of sick and tired of it. But that's all I got.
Corey?
I actually don't know anything about this situation. Besides LeBron making the school.
I mean, you didn't have to comment on that. I meant, did you have any other pop culture shit?
Oh, not really. I was going to mention, did you hear that? Do you follow the Smash Brothers stuff for the weekly updates and all that?
Everyone follows Smash Brothers.
Did you hear the Galaga remix or whatever, the new theme?
No.
I was going to say it's pretty good.
Okay, well, basically, for those of you that don't know, EVO, the world's largest fighting game tournament, is happening over the course of the next 3 days. Live streaming on Twitch and also YouTube. Popular fighting games include Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity. Even though they didn't make it a primary game, that room is so packed that there's only standing room only. You dropped the ball on that one, Evil. Yeah, the game kinda sorta sucks, but you know what? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was completely fucking broken, and you had it for over a fucking decade. Don't give me that bullshit. Yeah, you didn't have a lot of time, but it still should have been a main course. That little rant aside. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, and also demonstrations of Soul Calibur 6, which isn't finished, as well as Dead or Alive 6, which also is not finished. We are currently in day 2 of this tournament, if not day 1. I hope you guys can view it. They have their own Twitch page as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
It looks like Arc Systems is going to announce something at EVO one of these days.
They always announce something.
Yeah, they got something on a timeline of all their games that have come out. It looks like Kill la Kill and some other game that's got question marks on the.
Yeah, fuck that Kill la Kill shit. Kill la Kill wasn't even popular enough to warrant this shit.
Yeah.
I don't hate Kill la Kill, don't get me wrong. It was very meh to me, but I'm known for having not so much insanely high taste as it is a set standard that few new animes meet.
Gurren Lagann?
I liked it. And I like Kill la Kill. And there's supposed to be a new Gurren Lagann TV show coming too. And a new Kill la Kill at some point. But my whole thing is that, I enjoy creativity because I know originality is not something that is easily attained. So when I see a show that is a copy of 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 a copy, I'm not going to be, as interested as, say, the next idiot who just picked up on what anime even is 4 years ago and still can't even tell that anime is just a fucking nickname / slang term for the word animation. Like, I won't even get into how much dumb shit people try to fight me over for no reason. But yeah, enjoy Evo. And with that being said, that brings this episode to a close. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I will see y'all when I see y'all.